Child, get somebody else to do it. Hey guys, it's Nancy here, and welcome back to my channel. Hey. You know the saying, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. You're my bestie. Welcome. All right, y'all. So today is going to be what I call I don't want to call it a rant video, but it's a video where I'm going to be sharing like certain character traits. They call them Icks now. So like certain things and people that just irritate me, or like, you know what I mean? Like certain things, people that I'm just like, I can't be around this kind of person. Get somebody else to do it. Cause I'm removing myself, or you can remove yourself. Either way, I don't want to be around you, because it's just these types of character traits really just do something to me. Like they really just, it irritates me to my core. Do you understand? Like it just irritates me so much. So if you want to know my Icks, then go ahead and just keep watching this video. All right, so besties, the first way to irritate me, or just a character trait that I do not like, is, drum roll, somebody who is unreliable. Whoo, like, oh my God. I know y'all can sense my passion, but that is like something that irritates me so much. Like, you know how like when things, because you know life is unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if you might need to call somebody for whatever reason. There's a million things that could happen, right? And when you scroll through your phone, you're like, okay, I can call this person. All right, that's somebody else I can call. And you go to this person's name, you're like, no, that person, they're not reliable. You know what I mean? And so people like that, I naturally just distance myself from. And that type of trait you can pick up if you can notice it fairly quickly if you ask the right types of questions. When I think about like relationships, not even just romantic, but just like friendships, dynamics within families, just period. The core of what it means is to serve. Okay? So if you are somebody who you can't even do the one of the most fundamental parts of what it means to be a friend, a partner, you can't do that, then I can't help you. Get somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't, because you have to understand that you have to be able to be there. If somebody's going through something, like, hey, Nancy, can you go to my apartment to do this? Or can you go put a sign on my, just anything. Can you take out the key from under my mat and put it under the door? Like, you know, and if you're available, then you should be able to do it. Like the person, you know what I'm saying? Like people can count on you. That's a very, 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 very important trait to me. And if you don't have that, then I can't really place you in a high rank in my life. And so, yeah, being reliable is really, 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 really important. So reliable, being dependable. And another thing I don't like is people say, oh, I don't need nobody to help me with none of the... Listen, y'all can keep that to yourself. If I'm a type of person, if I have core friends, family, you're supposed to be able to depend on them in certain times of need. That's part of what the dynamic is. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And I've had seasons where, yeah, I've had to depend on people, you know, and that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. However, I will say you don't want to be, you know, codependent, or you don't want to be, you know, though that's a different thing. But however, to have people in your life that love you and you can count on them during whatever season, whatever you're going through, whether it's just for them to sit there and listen to you talk, like you've had a long day or a long week, and it's just, you know, you're depending on them to have a conversation to help you decompress. Like that's part of depending on people, and people being able to serve you as a friend, as a lover, as a partner, as a business, a partner, you know, just different levels, you know, you're serving. It's not about just taking. And you don't want to be a people pleaser as well. So you have to know how to also be able to say no as well. So, but I will say, like, people that is unreliable, I cannot depend on. You definitely won't be my man, and you most likely won't be a close friend of mine. So it's just, that's something that's really, really, really important to me. That was number one. The second thing that I would consider is an ick is somebody who is just like, I would say like, so the second thing would be somebody who is lazy. Like am so unattracted and so turned off by laziness. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I see men that are just like, oh my God, they're ambitious, they're getting it, they're finding ways they're making things happen, the movers and the shakers. I'm like, yes, like, it does something to me. I would think to any natural woman, you know, however, there are some women who don't care. That's not me. You know, it's just, it's attractive and it's sexy. And it's like, yes, you know, teach me how to do this. Teach me how to do that. Like, you know, a man that's just, he's out here and he's working hard and he's hustling. Like, I don't ever want to be in a situation where it's like, not even just relationships though, just in general, being around lazy people, because that type of energy, it transfers to you. And when you're around people who all they do all day is smoke weed and drink, and they don't do nothing but go, you know, but go to the restroom, to leave the couch. Like, you don't want to be in that type of environment because that's weighing you down. You want to be elevated. Well, let me speak for me. I want to be elevated. I want to be in spaces with people where I'm like, you had to put in some major work to get here. They don't let anybody up in here. You know what I'm saying? I want to be around those people because those people are the people that are inspiring. Those people are the ones that are doing the game changing. Those people are the ones that are really doing it and really living a certain type of quality of life that people just dream about. And so I don't like lazy. I'm the type of person where I will try to fit in as much in my schedule as I can. Like, I remember, I remember when I was like in college and like, you know, this guy was like, man, you try to do like a whole week in a day. And it's not even that I try to do a whole week in a day. It's just like, I try to be productive. I try to get as much done as I can, because if I don't get that done, it's going to keep transferring and piling up until a point where I'm just overwhelmed because there's just so much for me to do, you know? And so, yeah. And so if I'm able to do all these tasks and you do one task and you're just like, I'm so tired, you ain't for me. And no, you know, so it's just like, I don't like lazy people. However, there are times where, of course, like, you know, you just want to rest. I feel like that's fine. That's normal. Like, you shouldn't always have to be on go. But if you're always on rest and you're always on not doing anything, I don't want that around me. You know what I mean? So that's lazy. I don't like lazy men, lazy friends, lazy. And that's another thing too. Like, I've always felt like in my life, like, I always had to be the one to like pick up other people's slack, but I'm not doing that no more. Like, if you can't hold your own weight and you can't be, I'm good. Get somebody else to do it. Like, another thing that irritates me, this is the ick, is people that cannot be on time. Like, let me just start by saying, like, I used to be that type of person that was like, I was always late, but like, I wasn't, it would depend on what it is, right? But like, it would just depend on what it is. But like, professional settings, I was always on time. But like, you know, like leisure, hanging out, I was usually always late. But then when I started to like build better habits for my life and really understand the importance of time, how to be intentional with your time. And when I realized how to be intentional with my time, I knew that intention and punctuality are intertwined. So once I grasped that, I started to move different. And I don't ever want to be led, because people always talk about men supposed to lead. I never want to be led by a man who doesn't understand the value of being on time places. People have schedules. People have things, places to go, things to do. I don't have time to just sit there and really understand the value of time for you to move that way. And if a person who doesn't understand it, they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like people who cannot be on time. And it's just, it is a form of disrespect. It is a form of irresponsibility. It's a form of my time is more valuable than yours. It's a form of people leading with their ego. Like, these are all things I don't think people really understand when they're like constantly late. And it's just, it's sloppy. It's sloppy. Like, it just, to me, it's just like, it's sloppy. Like, if you know you have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, you're a grown adult. You're not in high school. You're not in middle school. You're not a child. You're not a baby. If you know you have to be somewhere at 9 a.m. or 7 p.m., your brain, everybody has a brain. Your brain should tell you, in order for me to be there by 9 o'clock, I should probably hop in the shower by 7:30 or whatever. Do what I gotta do. That gives me this amount of time to do this. You know, it's like, talk. Baby, I'm not about to sit up here, and I'm just not gonna be the type of person that's just like allowing people to just show up late. Like, get somebody else to do it. I gotta go. Bye. Next thing is, I would say, is like poor communication. So like people who don't know how to articulate their words. So when they talk, you have to constantly try to figure out what they're saying, or you have to like speak for them. That's one thing I've learned, especially in the job that I have, is like, I'll talk to these people and it's like, you have to like, ma'am, what exactly are you trying to say? You know? And it's just like, and it's not to be like demeaning or anything, but it's like, it goes back to self-development and self-improvement. I'm so big on that. Like sitting with yourself and taking time and saying, you know what? My vocabulary is limited, but guess what I can do? Google a word a day, or you can go get a thesaurus from Goodwill for $1 or less. And you can actually sit there and you can read different words and you can learn different words and you can broaden your vocabulary and you can learn how to speak better. And this is all, but you know what? You have to, it's work. And if you're not willing to go and do the work to make yourself better, then yeah, you're going to be stuck where you are. I want to be around people that are trying to be better versions of themselves. Okay. And if you know that you're lacking somewhere and it's something that you can fix and you can improve, then do it. Then do it. Like, you know what? Well, I need to probably work on how I'm speaking because my communication is not that good. So go to Google, how to communicate more effectively. Read articles, like do stuff, work, you know, build that up within yourself. So I don't like that because that goes back to being lazy. You know, you struggle with that, but you're not willing to work on it. So get somebody else to deal with it. And then I would also say like, another it could be like consistent unhappiness or like anger, like too many bad days. Like I understand in life, like even the happiest people have days where they feel sad or they feel like they're off, which is fine. I feel like that's normal. Negative energy is an ick to me. I don't want to be around it. And one thing that I've learned is that my body can pick it up like this. Like negative energy, dark energy, my body can pick it up. And I'm like, whoa, I got to get from around here. This is weird, you know, because that stuff, it does, it like, it's contagious. Yeah. Like it definitely does like, flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like negative energy, unhappiness, sadness, that stuff can weigh on you. And if you're somebody who's like diligently pursuing your happiness, you're diligently like doing things that make you happy, when you have to face that dark cloud, it's gonna ruin you. It's gonna mess you up, right? And one thing I don't like is when people be like, because they're so unhappy, they're looking to you to be the light in their world to make them happy. And I'm like, that goes back again to self-work. Like, I feel like so many things in life goes back to self-work. And if you don't do the self-work, you're going to keep up coming up with the same results. Nobody can do it for you. That's the thing about life. And when you realize that, your whole life changes. I'm telling you, in that moment, your whole life changes. And so I don't like to be around people that have too many sad days, too many bad days. I also say another ick would be someone who's manipulative. This is actually probably one of the biggest things that irritates me. And I used to wonder why I was always get so angry whenever I would lay down a boundary and I would say no. And people would be like trying to push past that boundary and like basically trying to make me shift my answer. That would be one of the things that make me so angry. Because if you've already asked me a question, right? Any question, you've already asked me the question. I've given you my answer. I'm giving you my answer. Like clear cut, straight answer. And you get angry or you get offended or you turn mean or you try to tell me, but no, man, because or you try to like, you know, put in more information to deter my answer or change my answer. Then I gotta block you or I gotta walk away because I used to think it was just like, you're not respecting my decision, but you're being manipulative. You're trying to manipulate me into doing a behavior that pleases you. And so I just was like, no, that actually irritates me a lot. That might be up there with unreliable. So it's just like, that was something that really, really, really irritated me. And one thing I will also say is like, somebody, my therapist told me, like, somebody's crossing a boundary when it makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel uncomfortable because it's not the same thing as leaving your comfort zone. Somebody's crossing a boundary when it makes you feel uncomfortable. And saying no is your natural answer without even having to think. Saying no or stop is your natural response to whatever the person is doing. So that's why when people can't respect that, I gotta go. Get somebody else to do it. Bye. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, those would be for the most part the things that are considered icks to me. I feel like other than that, I mean, it's not really a lot of things that really irritate me. It would just be those things. For the most part, I tune most people out anyway. But so it would just be those things that really, that really, like, you know what I mean? Like, those would be like the main things that irritate me. And yeah, and I think, like, going back to like negative, it's like when people get on the internet and they try to like say stuff about you because you pop in or whatever. That's not even an ick. I just block and remove and mute and delete and keep it pushing. So that wouldn't even be an ick. Like, people that be hating on people. Because I was gonna say, like, an ick is like being around people that's just like haters. Like, you know how if somebody looks good, whether it's a man, a woman, whatever, you're like, wow, you look nice, like you look fly, like you look good. But like, some people, they cannot utter those words. They cannot say that to people, you know? They just have like a hater spirit about them. Like, it don't matter. They just be like, the people who say Beyonce's overrated, you got a hater spirit. I see it. Remove it. I'm just saying, so it's just like, it's just that, but that doesn't really irritate. That's not really an ick. I was going to mention that one, but I wouldn't, that's not really an ick. That's just like, it's just life. I would say those would be my icks. For sure. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much for all the support. You guys are so amazing. And let's get these watch hours up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.